Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Add Nuance. It's time for some more low-effort content. Today we're going to be ranking all the saw traps, or at least most of them, from I believe up to Spiral. We won't be including Saw 10 because I'm too lazy to make more of these little boxes, to make these little photo things here. Sounds like lots of the traps in Saw X are all just kind of fine, I guess. They're all just fine, I guess. Including elements of the story, the context in which they take place, the payoff, how entertaining they were, how fun they are, and if they make logical sense. I have to say that I have to preface with that because we're starting with the shotgun keys. Truly an F tier trap. The shotgun keys make no sense. This is truly one of the dumbest traps. I thought Jigsaw was okay overall, but then I saw this trap and I was like, okay, this is stupid. The problem I have with this trap is that John walks on screen and says, "This is your key to escape," and then he puts it into a shotgun. This objection I have to this. The objection I have to this is the same objection I have to a lot of traps, which is it's a trick trap where it's a trick trap where the point of it is that you don't understand what he's saying. In my mind, anyways, this a saw trap is supposed to be you are wasting your life, you're hurting other people or yourself, and then you're put in a life or death situation where you have to do something really hard to survive. The point is not to be like, figure out a riddle, figure out what I mean, figure out what that's supposed to mean. Because not in a million years would you think he's saying that a key is in a shotgun shell, where he's putting you into a competition where you're supposed to kill the other person. First one to run to pick up the gun wins. And you're supposed to figure out that there's a key in the shell, which you're not going to do. Okay, so what's supposed to happen here? Let's say this doesn't work out this way. What happens is that, like, John, you don't do anything. You shout out loud, we agreed not to kill each other. And then John walks, like, hobbles out. He's 1,000 years old. He walks out. He unscrews the shotgun cells, like, okay, time to unlock yourselves. And that's the end of the trap. It doesn't make any sense. Healing jars. Good trap. Solid B. Solid B trap. I think that's a pretty good trap. Sealing jars are, for those of you who don't remember, bombs going off. You have to break the glass to get keys, and then the keys go to some callers, but not the other ones. And as it turns out, they're actually the same key for all the callers, and everybody's supposed to get into the tunnels. There's only 4 tunnels. Makes you betray people. You could all actually fit more than one person in the tunnel. It's fine. It's a decent trap. It's a decent trap. Yeah. Okay. Next is the finger trap. The finger trap is okay. Bathtub, electricity, water. Pull your fingers out. It's a good visceral trap. It's not really memorable. It's just kind of okay. Now, the pig vat is the first S tier trap. Now, many people, I don't know how many people care about the pig vat. I don't know if anybody's going to agree with me on this, but I love the pig vat because it actually gets to the emotional core of the movie. For those of you who don't remember, Jeff is emotionally suffering. His son got killed by a drunk driver, and he's just obsessed with revenge, and he's depressed, and he's anxious. He's full of vengeance. And this is where we get the pig vat. He has to save the judge, who gave his son's killer a light sentence. It's a great combination of just being gross. It's a perfect saw trap because it has a combination of being gross and emotionally impactful. Because in order to get the key to save this guy, he doesn't have to go through pain, but what he has to do is he has to, go through emotional pain and light all of his son's old stuffed animals on fire to give up, to let go of his son's memories to save this man. And I think that's just really clever. Ice block trap. Not that good. It's D, I guess. Whatever. It's hard to separate this trap from the movie. The movie's really dumb because the person who's coming to save him, his crime is that he, his sin or his crime is that he's too willing. He willingly risks his life too much. He's too, willing to risk his life to save people, which is his job. He's a SWAT team officer. So that's dumb. But if you take that out of it, it's just, an ice cube melts and then you get electrocuted, which is fine, I guess. It's not an F tier, but it's not particularly great. Sentry gun is not a trap. I don't know. I don't know why that's listed here. The sentry gun is not a trap in any way. Uh, it's just you walk past a sensor and it shoots at you. That's not a trap in any meaningful sense. Subway trap. Another C-list trap. Like most of these spiral traps are going to be C-list. It's fine, but it's not particularly memorable. You know, you rip out your tongue. Obviously, that's pretty hardcore, but it's not particularly engaging. Lawnmower trap. The lawnmower trap. Many people probably don't even remember this. You probably remember the CGI shot here, but you don't remember what the context was, and I barely remember it. It's from Saw 7. It's from Saw the Final Chapter, and it's a referenced event where the character says, like they're in that support group, and the character says, "Oh, I survived this trap. He helped me get over my abusive boyfriend." She's in an abusive boyfriend, and then it just cuts to them hanging off of poles with barbed wire, and whoever let goes last lives. It's also not explained. It doesn't make any sense because it's not explained how they got there. We only see like the last few seconds of it, so there's no explanation of how they got there, how they survived afterwards, or anything. And we have no idea who made the trap because they don't say it. Presumably, it's either Hoffman or John, but it's such a stupid trap. It's a sealess trap. The concept is okay. The execution is a bit goofy. Uh, it's memorable. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not. It wasn't explained properly. Glass grinder is actually pretty cool. I actually like the glass grinder. Actually, sorry, the glass grinder has to go down to C. I like it as a trap, but the again, it's a logical problem where there's a key in the trash can. Again, it plays on the whole. I threw, it's in the recording. He says, "Are you going to throw away the key?" or something like that. Something about throwing away key, and he's supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, it's in the garbage can." And then after the trap is completed, Chris Rock goes, "Oh, that makes sense. It would be in the garbage can," and it doesn't go anywhere. It's dumb. Glass coffin. B. Love a glass coffin. Glass coffin's just a fun trap. It's not really clever or interesting, but it is in execution. It's fun, and it's great to have that face off between two characters who look identical, Hoffman and Strom. Basically, because remember he says the tape recording says get in the coffin or die, and then the guy's like, yeah, right, I'm not gonna do that. And then they fight, and then Hoffman gets pushed into the coffin, and the coffin goes into the ground. The walls close in and kill Strom. And so that was a very fun trap. Reverse bear trap, classic. S tier, great trap. Love the reverse bear trap. So simple, so fun, so cool. Magnum eye hole. Magnum eye hole is truly the stupidest trap of all time. I think it might be the dumbest thing we've ever seen. The Magnum eye hole might be the dumbest trap in all of Saw because it's based on the premise that when you turn a key in a door, you look through the wrong end of an eye hole, like you look through the wrong end of the peephole. It's just so stupid. Like it's like, oh yes, let me turn the key as I look down a peephole from the wrong end of a door. Let me just look through this peephole while I turn a key. It doesn't make any sense. Shotgun carousel, another S tier. Fantastic, absolute banger of a trap. You get to see the people beg for their lives. You get to see you get to see the CEO give up on trying to judge people. He doesn't want to decide who lives and dies anymore at the end of it. It's very clever, and each time he saves somebody, just reduces the chance that the other people will live. It's very clever. Oxygen Crusher, uh, in concept fun. Again, it's a C. The concept is cool, but the problem is you're putting a smoker against a non-smoker. It's just a physical limitation. It's not like you're taking pain to survive. It's not like you're taking pain to survive. You're just put in a competition where you can't win. Laser Caller was fine. You confess to your crimes, get your head cut, or get your head cut with lasers. I get what they were going for, and it's fun, but it's a little goofy. It feels a little out of place for a Saw trap. The Pain Train. Not really a trap again. I probably should put it in D because, like the Sentry Gun, it's not a trap. But I'm going to put it in C because although it isn't a trap, it's very fun. Everybody hates her character. Everybody hates Jill. She sucks so bad. Nobody likes her. but it's fun to watch her die. It's a very fun moment. And ironically, there's a good bit of irony when Hoffman says, the only bad thing about killing you is that I can only do it once, and then we get to see it twice. So I appreciate them listening to the fans. Spike trap, A tier. Great trap, love it. An abused woman has to pull out spikes out of her husband's body through her body in ways that are not fatal to her, but fatal to him. I love the, domestic abuse. Wife gets revenge on her abuser. Very fun. Suspended cage. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. I don't remember this trap. Is there a pause button? All right, we're back again. Sorry about that. I remembered why I don't remember that trap, because it's not a trap. It's just a weird opening to Saw 7. I was trying to remember what was this? What was happening? Basically, he's in a cage. It's suspended over spikes. That's why I didn't remember it. Okay, we have the water cube. Water cube is a fun trap. It's a super basic, but I mean, I was about to say it's super basic. However, the real thing is that it's meant to kill Strom, but he gets out of it, and how he gets out of it is fun. I don't want to spoil it for you, but the execution is good. So the water cube is a solid B tier trap. It's mostly just a murder device, similar to how the reverse bear trap was used in 7, or pardon me, in 6. But it is still a very fun little trap. The idea that your face is filled with water, your head is in a box, it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. It's very visceral, and how he gets out of it is fun. 10 pints of sacrifice. I'll go with B. Although the final twist was a little obvious by the end of it, the concept is still fun. Like the idea that you have to sacrifice blood, and if there's fewer people, you have to sacrifice more blood is a cool idea. It is a little bit goofy that the guy sacrificed 5 pints of blood and he's still alive, according to 7, but whatever, it's fine. This one, I don't know why they call it the public execution. It's truly known as the love triangle. And it's a fun trap. I don't think it's the most clever trap. It's not necessarily the most interesting, but it is cool. It was the first sort of quote-unquote outdoor trap. It's technically in a room, but it's taking place in public. That was a very fun concept. It's a great opening trap. And it gives you a good shot of Toronto. Yeah, I think it's a solid A. I was double thinking it, but it's pretty fun. The idea that they wake up and they realize that, she's playing them against each other, that she's taking advantage of both of them, making them commit crimes to buy her stuff, and then they come together and kill her. It's a fun, simple trap. I really like it. Shotgun chair is not really a trap. If I recall correctly, he just stands up, and even after this, John says that he hasn't been tested. So I'm not really that worried about it. I think it's just kind of eh. Classroom trap, solid B tier, very fun concept. Obviously, it's murder. They're all murder, but this one's especially murder because there's no way to escape. They did make a kind of dumb thing where they put the ring through his entire jaw. So literally, in addition to the door being welded, there's no way to escape. You can't pull that ring out. You can't pull it through your jaw. It's not humanly possible. And the reason they did that was because the first idea was to have barbed wire through holes in his teeth. If you actually see the Saw 3, if you see the Saw 3 poster, it has barbed wire through teeth. And the reason they did that was because that was what they were going to do in this trap. However, they couldn't practically make it work and look good, so we ended up with this. I understand it's the last minute, what can you do, but still not the best. Cool trap, though. The furnace. Very fun trap. Not an A tier, but a B tier. It is a classic trap. You go in, you have to walk through the fire to turn the nozzle. And, yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, do I have any more to say about that? I don't. It's cool, though. I enjoyed it. Sad to see Obi go that way. Needle Pit. Classic A trap. Not really... not really the most clever trap. Not really the best one. But it's a fun little trap. I enjoyed it. The idea, it's hard. It's hard not to cringe. I mean, I'd even say it's impossible not to cringe when you see her fall into the pit and just get stuck with like dozens of needles. And finding a needle in a needle stack is just a great concept. Bedroom trap. Fun to watch the pedo die. Good classic trap. Gross guy makes the good guy kill him. That's always fun. He has to stab himself in the eyes. It's a good solid trap. Silence trap. Banger. I don't care what anybody says. That's S tier. That is such a good concept. The idea that they have to not make noise. She talks. She's a publicist. It's clever. I I can see people saying it's not supposed to be an S tier trap, but I have a really good time with it. Yes, the needle thing shouldn't go into. Actually, I think I'm thinking of somebody else. I think of the impalement wheel. Scratch that part out. Cut that part out. Fatal 5. This is a trial, not a test, but it is a C tier overall. I mean, it's not bad, but it's a little obvious. Electric bathtub, same thing. They all take a shock. Yeah, actually, it's pretty clever. They stick all the electrodes into one person. I guess it's B tier. That's fine. Exploding Billy, D tier. Not a trap. Leg wires. Again, not a trap. Shotgun hallway. Not a trap. Who's doing this? Who's doing this ranking? Well, I'm doing the ranking. I don't know who made this tier list. Necktie trap. Let's pause this one. Jesus. Isn't this just the ceiling jars? I don't really remember 5. I didn't enjoy it, so I haven't watched it that much. We're gonna put it in C. Impalement wheel, there's the additional one in the mouth that doesn't really do anything, but it still looks cool. I think it's a fun little trap. It's not very complicated, but it is enjoyable. The rack, S tier, so gory, so upsetting to look at, so much fun. Taking a shotgun blast to the hand is obviously awful. And as a final trap, it's just so great. Obviously, you get the Jesus metaphor, but it's part of the Jesus symbolism. It's a bit goofy, but overall, it's fun. Electrified staircase, not a trap. All right, not a trap. This is what D tier is for. Acid room, not a trap. It's not a trap in a different way than the other not a traps. It is not a trap because it's just pulling a lever at the end of seeing somebody suffer. They see him go through the trial and they decide if they want to save him or not. That's it. Drill chair, not a trap. No context, don't know what happened. Angel trap, very much so a trap. Obviously, it's not survivable, but the concept and execution is very fun here. The idea that you put your hand in the acid to get the key's dissolving, that's all great. The idea of burning your hand in acid is very fun, and the gore of your rib cage is getting torn apart is also very enjoyable. Bathroom trap. Not really a trap, but we have to go S tier. That's such a classic concept. I think just for nostalgia purposes, we have to give it an S. I don't remember the cyanide box that much. Hold on, give me a second. I have to look up cyanide. No, I remember because it's not a trap. Grain silo, just okay. Obviously, it's kind of okay to think about drowning in a grain silo. The things falling on them is fine. It's just, it just doesn't do very much. Wisdom teeth trap, very fun. It's too stupid to be higher, but it's a very, very fun. The concept is fun. The concept is very fun. Although, practically speaking, it's impossible, obviously, for the strap to exist, because in order to write them on part of the gums where you couldn't see them, they would have to be pulled out already, because the letters are written on the inside, which means that you wouldn't be really pulling them out, you'd just be re-pulling them out. We're not gonna pull teeth here for that one. Flammable jelly, F tier. D tier. Flammable jelly is a cool concept, and it is fun to watch, but the outcome is a bit silly. Pardon me, the practicality was a bit silly. Like, he's covered in flammable jelly, he's holding a candle. Like, the guy was doing everything he could, and it just realistically, there's no way of surviving that. Pendulum trap, solid. B tier. Obviously, it's an unbreakable trap, but the idea of crushing your hands is very fun. It's a good concept, but also I have to reduce it slightly because the pendulum cutting his stomach is great. Seeing intestines is great, but the moment intestines leave the human body, they look so silly. They look so stupid. And it just makes me laugh. It loses all seriousness to me because it's just like little rubber tubes. It just looks goofy outside of the body. The gallows. Since it's no longer, since it's not a trap anymore, I guess it has to go in C. Uh, it's okay. I don't like the concept of it because there's no way to survive if they just die. And also, like, what is the messaging here? This old lady with a family has more value because she has a family than the young person without a family. This seems like a weird idea. I don't really support that. The shotgun collar, not really a trap per se, but the concept is very good. Obviously, the idea that you're saving, you have to, you're put in a trap where you can't escape and you have to save John's life. That's very fun, and I enjoyed that. Spine cutter, solid. Do what he says or else cuts your spine. Pound of flesh, excellent trap. This is a great competition trap where you have to cut off a piece of your body and try and make it weigh more. And the outcome, I won't spoil it, but the outcome is very good. Mausoleum trap, so stupid. Putting people in a situation where they feel like they need to defend themselves, not letting them communicate, and be like, whoopsie daisy, I guess people died. It's very stupid. Scalping chair, banger. Solid B. Enjoy scalping chair. Super simple, but very fun. And I like the twist. Nerve gas house is not really a trap per se, but I enjoyed it. Freezer room, B. It's a good concept, but the outcome is a bit goofy. I understand for like story-wise why that needs to happen, but the idea that she's like fine and then she suddenly starts dying and then she instantly dies is a bit silly. D-Maze, Untrap, love that. Hot Wax Trap actually is very enjoyable. It's probably the best trap in Spiral. I actually found it very enjoyable compared to the others. Venus Flytrap, another classic. Crushing the head in the death mask, very fun. Has to cut behind his eye. Like that's it's the older trap, it's an old model, it's like an old-fashioned trap, but it is very enjoyable. Razor wire mate. Again, I think that's just murder. I think that's just murder to put people in there. To make them suffer before they die. Antidote safe room. Again, I don't know if that's really counts as a trap. Marionette trap. Oh, whoops. Razor box. Let's talk about the razor box. This is truly one of the dumbest moments in Saw. And I get it, they're dying of, I think it's sarin gas. I understand that they're not at their best, but like the scene is so funny when she puts one hand through the razor thing. I get it. Hey, people in movies are stupid. She just reaches her hand up and goes, "Oh no, my hand is stuck. Better put my second hand into the box." Let's not try to help myself. Let's not try and get my hand out. Let's put both hands into the trap. This seems like a good solution. Brazeable was pretty fun. I enjoyed the Brazeable. Bucket room obviously looks a bit silly. In execution, it's dumb because the people are asleep, but the concept is okay. Horsepower trap, not particularly memorable. Oh, no. I'm thinking of a different trap. I'm thinking of the motorcycle trap. Horsepower was fun. I enjoy this. I think this is the most people ever in a Saw trap. Very fun, killing racists. Enjoyable. Linkin Park guys in it. Knife chair. Yeah, probably the simplest trap. Let's see. Hangman's Noose. This was a cool one, actually. Obviously you're jumping from, beam to beam. That's enjoyable as a trap. Yeah. Pain hanger. Let's see. And finally, another solid C, cycle trap. That's it for the ranking. Tell me if you agree or disagree in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you all later in the next Just Add Nuance video, where I make some more low effort content. Goodbye.